The next notable holiday is coming up. It's one that some people look forward to, but others dread, Valentine's Day, especially if they had a recent breakup. Last year, we saw several celebrity couples file for divorce. Sofia Vergara and Joe Manganiello, Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, Britney Spears and Sam Asghari, Reese Witherspoon and Jim Toth, Kevin Costner and his wife Christine, and Ricky Martin and Juan Joseph. For some of those couples, divorce is quiet and respectful. For others, it's messy and makes the front page of the gossip magazines and TV shows. Now, almost 700,000 other couples in the U.S. filed for divorce last year. If your marriage is going in that direction, our first guests want to help you avoid the drama, especially if you have kids, and focus on the good things that can happen with the right nurturing. The Guide to Good Divorce seminar this weekend will highlight opportunities for self-discovery, personal growth, and new beginnings. And here's what former attendees had to say about the program.
So after I saw that workshop, I came in here to the conference room and the entire table was filled with my life. He had every single motion, every single filing. He knew more about my case than I did because my attorney had never told me the outcomes of some of these things.
Having those women in the room, hearing the other speakers, really gave me the sense that I could do it, that I had the tools, I had the ability, and that I would have the support.
The next seminar takes place this Saturday. Joining us is the founder and attorney Sam Trey Yates III and financial planner Molly Ward with Wealth Well Lived. Good morning.
Good morning, Deborah. All
right, let me start with when you say Guide to Good Divorce. Sounds like an oxymoron.
It does. Yeah. Yes, I know. Well, we're not saying that divorce is good. What we're saying is that the way you approach divorce can be better. And one of the things we stress at the seminar is you got to get the legal knowledge, you got to get all the financial, but then we want to focus on wellness, life skills, and how you transition, how you handle that stress during the entire process.
Yeah, when you say like how you approach it, in fact, it was just a couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine said, well, I have a lawyer friend. I go, okay, the lawyer friend is like a personal injury lawyer. He's not,
right.
Yeah, you are in a specific area of law.
Yes, I'm board certified in family law. I've been getting divorced every day of my life for 40 years, so I have lost count of how many. We started the Guide to Good Divorce back in 2011 because in my own private practice, I was seeing that the way divorce was being handled for women in particular in Texas was just not sufficient. So I sat around and thought, what can I do to give back to the community that has been so generous to me? And we came up with the Guide to Good Divorce. We hold them at the Houstonian. And we're so excited that you're going to be with us next Saturday.
Yeah, and we say, when we talk about divorce, it is out of sight, out of mind, until it's right in front of your face, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And so many people are caught off guard, and there's lots of myths out there, but it also can be confusing, starting with the fact that what happens in one state doesn't necessarily happen in another state.
Right. Each state has their own family code, and the laws of divorce in Texas are very, very complicated. They can involve immigration, bankruptcy, a closely held concern. If you and I were married and we had a business, and now we decide to get not only a divorce in terms of our marriage, but also our business, you can see how complicated it can be very quickly.
Yeah.
So this is probably not an area of the law that you want to go to, as you said, to your personal injury, soon to be
or your best friend, girl,
right.
I'm gonna tell you what to do.
Exactly.
You're gonna get alimony, so don't worry about
exactly.
it. Well,
yeah,
alimony
is no alimony in this town.
Yeah,
that's right.
in Texas, right? And by the way, when you're comparing your relationship to like those people that I just mentioned, like Kevin Costner's wife is probably gonna get a little something, right? Unless you have a little something to give, you're not gonna get.
Exactly. And one of the keys is an understanding is that a judge is going to take all of those laws, apply them to the facts of your marriage, which are very unique. Every marriage is different than the other one, and come out with some type of result.
Yeah.
That's why none of the findings look an awful lot like the others.
A lot of myths. One of them is that everything's split 50-50, or the woman's always going to get the kids.
Yeah, those days are long gone too. The statute actually says the judge has to make a just and right division. It doesn't say anything about 50-50. And we're seeing a lot of young couples come in with the idea that there will be no child support and that we'll have the kids equal amount of time 50-50. It's not the law.
Yeah.
but that's what a lot of people believe is their right, so we have to talk about that.
Yeah, Molly, divorce is one of the top things that can send people into a situation of poverty, right? And Trey mentioned that women in particular are behind the 8 ball when it comes to divorce. Men too, but women in particular. And one area where we still struggle is knowing where the money is.
Yes. Yeah, it is such a difficult season for anybody, men or women. But I do see more women struggling where the money is. And that's one of the first steps that you take is, where is the money? What do I have or what do I not have? And then how do I move forward from here?
Yeah. All right. So what's probably the biggest issue that you see with a lot of women when it comes to that money? Not knowing where it is, but even not knowing how to deal with money, right?
Right. So a lot of times they're not the ones that are controlling the finances or have been involved in the finances. Maybe that's just because of a division of labor in the household and they're with the kids and he's doing the money. But this is probably the largest financial transaction of their life. And so this is a great time, if she has not been involved with the finances, for her to get involved, know what they are, know what that means to her future, so that she can make some really good decisions for her future. And when she assesses where the money is and works with somebody like a financial professional to see what the future is, kind of the crystal ball, what's my crystal ball based on this divorce, then she's going to have a lot more confidence in those decisions she makes. She comes into our office and a lot of times she's looking down, her hands are shaking, but then when we go over everything,
vulnerable.
Very, and they just didn't know. So then they get an understanding of what's going on and what the divorce means to their finances, and they're walking out with their head held higher and more confidence, and that helps them when they see their attorney make some really good decisions.
Yeah, I have a friend that is going through it right now, and one of the things she said was, I don't know how to pay the phone bill. I don't know where the phone bill is.
Right.
I don't know how to pay the electricity bill. And literally, her car note, she's like, things are due and I don't know how to pay them. So it's like the rug's being pulled out from underneath her in that sense. There was a time where, back in the day, where we would go from our daddy's house to a husband's house, right? Things have changed. There are a lot more women who have control of their own checkbooks. But overall, do you see that we're still not where we need to be with that?
Absolutely. I mean, we still are in the South to some degree, right? And so either because they've been systematically deprived of information or because their life is so fully active involving children or helping their spouse.
Yeah. Last thing I'm thinking about, as long as we're taken care of.
Exactly, as long as we're taken care of. And one of the things that I like to say is that you need to work with a group of people as you go through divorce, because it's my job to get you $500,000. It's Molly's job to tell you what you can do with that. Right. And a lot of our ladies that have been the primary caregiver, they need an income stream. And so we're fighting against all sorts of odds in terms of the court systems and the laws to get them that kind of result. And it's really a tough transition.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why you should feel alone, isolated. That's one of the things we talk about in the Guide to Good Divorce, is that when you come to the seminar, you see like-minded women going through the same journey. And you have an opportunity, right, to talk about your own story and be affirmed, not only from the experts that are speaking, but also those that are with you in community.
Because you can feel so alone, and you get in the room, and we look at the divorce statistics, you're not alone. You mentioned, that stream of income, especially for those who you raise the kids from birth to they're now through college, and you've been out of the workforce for how long? And then you feel like you don't have any skills. Let me tell you right now, if you've been a housewife, you got all the skills in the world, right?
Exactly.
You just got to know how to put that down on a resume if you should have to work again, right? Okay.
We're also doing a lot of work now with special needs families. Mm-hmm. And so when you have been the primary caretaker of a disabled adult child, you really need to be working with like-minded legal people who can help you put together an income stream, and as you receive that money, it has to be done through special trust.
Yeah,
so,
right, yeah. Okay, the divorce financial planner, how's that set up?
Well, there are financial planners, and then there's another certification called Certified Divorce Financial Analyst. So that's the designation I have. I got it about 7 years ago when I went through my own divorce. I realized how important it was to walk with other people during their big, huge life change.
Because finances, most of us don't understand anyway, on a good day, right? Especially, so in this situation, for sure.
Yes, oh, absolutely. And I've seen so many hardworking moms, when they do work with me or with another financial planner or divorce financial planner, they are actually able to change the course of their lives and their families' lives through actively learning what their finances are and what it means to them.
Yeah, but there's so many things that sound foreign to them. It
Oh,
sounds foreign to me.
yes.
We'd say pensions and Social Security benefits, right? Dividing retirement plans, taxable and non-taxable assets, executive benefit plan. All that sounds foreign to me, which is why you're a professional.
Yes.
But they get this stuff during the seminar that you can share with them. There are probably things there that you need to know about.
Absolutely. And Texas is a community property state.
Yeah.
So we have to differentiate between what is jointly held and what is our separate property. That's one of the very beginning inquiries. Then we have claims for reimbursement. You see how complicated it
Well, because you
can
said
be.
community property, which is okay, we're splitting this down the middle or not, or splitting it somehow, some way.
Right.
But at the same time, we're a community property state, we're also community debt, right?
Exactly. And theoretically, the community estate is responsible for his MasterCard debt, your student loan. And so, when you work with legal as well as financial, we help you sort of segregate all that out so you understand what you're getting into. And please don't go to mediation to settle your case unless you go in with all the knowledge you need to make an informed decision.
Yeah.
And that's one of the
Because
passions
sometimes
that
people
we
are told
have.
this is going to mediation because we can avoid the cost by just going to mediation. But if
Yeah.
you rush it, and I think what you're saying is don't rush into mediation.
Well, go in, but with all the information you need to make an informed decision.
Yeah. And then let me round out with the other thing that you focus on that is so critically important, because for so many people, it's emotionally devastating.
Yes.
They have to mourn that it's like mourning a death, right,
Yes.
of that relationship, is making sure that the wellness component is in place as well.
Yeah, and at the seminar, we do life coaching. We've had CrossFit trainers. We've had ministers. We actually do a meditation. We do some gratitude work. So it's a really positive environment.
Yeah.
This isn't about bashing anything. It's just about empowering yourself through a transition called divorce.
Just tell me when we walk into the room, we hear, at first I was afraid, I was petrified.
Well, okay.
All right.
I'll make a note.
Go on now, go.
That
walk through
sounds
that
good.
door. All right.
I like that.
Thank you so much, and thanks for creating
thank
this,
you.
because
Yeah.
there are so many people, who, like I mentioned earlier, who feel like they're so alone in this.
Yes.
And there is a process through where you can come out better on the other side. The Guide to Good Divorce seminar takes place this Saturday at the Houstonian Hotel. It's 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. The cost is $97 and includes a light breakfast. The Guide to Good Divorce is offering a special promotion. For the cost of one admission, you can bring a supportive friend at no charge. For more information about the seminar or to register, call this number on the screen, 713-932-7177. Again, that's 713-932-7177, or visit their website at guidetogooddivorce.com. Again, there'll be a lot of expert advice on how to navigate your new life around divorce, so make sure your supportive friend takes good notes.